Greetings to all. This is a session on functionalism. A brief introduction about what is the functionalist theory, what is this idea of function, who propounded it. So, functionalist theory is it's a very fundamental metaphor of the living organism. It's several parts and the organs which are grouped and organized into a system. So, this function of various body parts or organs which are working together to sustain this organism and to keep the essential processes working, operational. So that's the underlying principle of functionalism, like to see something as functional and determining the functions of its units, right? Similarly, drawing this analogy of society with respect to that living organism, the members of the society can be thought of as cells, its institutions, its organs, whose function is primarily to sustain the life collectively despite the frequent death of the cells and the production of the new ones, right? So this functionalist analysis and the examination of the social significance of phenomena, that is the purpose that they serve a particular society in maintaining the whole, that was the underlying principle of functionalist thought. The functionalist school of thought was emerged in early 20th century. It was pioneered by Malinowski and Radcliffe Brown. Basically, this paradigm has emerged as a replacement to the outdated and the old ideologies of this evolutionism and diffusionism school of thought, shifting the focus from the study of customs or traits as mere survivals to the social institutions within those bounded functioning societies. The main idea was therefore to discover the relation between an individual need and the social institutions. Okay. Now it is believed that there are two versions of this school of thought which emerged simultaneously. One is the Malinowski's biocultural functionalism and the other is Radcliffe Brown's structural functionalism. Although both of these school of thoughts, they have emphasized on cultural institutions per se, their roles and their functions in society, they had a different approach altogether. So starting with Malinowski's theory of functionalism, Malinowski was an anthropologist who pioneered one of the school of social anthropology, that is functionalism itself. His noted publications are The Argonauts of Western Pacific, Magic, Science and Religion, The Scientific Theory of Culture. He has stated that the institutions operate to satisfy the biological and the psychological needs of individual and that of the society as a whole. He also illustrated his scheme and his theory of needs using the charter of an institution. Now, in the first place, he defined this idea of functionalism as a theory of transformation of organic, that is, the individual needs, into a desired cultural necessity and the imperatives. So he said that culture must be understood as a means to achieve an end, be it instrumentally or functionally or howsoever. So it's merely a means to achieve an end. Now, in his book titled Scientific Theory of Culture and Other Essays, written in 1944, he gave this idea of his principles on the theory of needs. He stated that culture is essentially an institutional apparatus by which man is put in a position to better cope with some concrete or specific problems that face him in his environment during the course of his own process of satisfying his needs. Okay. It is observed as a system of objects, activities, or say attitudes in which every part exists as a means to an end. It is an integral in which the various elements are interdependent over each other, and such activities, attitudes, objects, they're organized around important and very vital tasks into institutions such as family, clan, local community, tribes, more organized teams of economic cooperation, the political and the legal, and also the educational activities. Now, from this dynamic point of view, that is with regard to the type of activity, the culture could be analyzed into a number of aspects. let's say education, their social control, economics, the beliefs, mortality, um, creativity, artistic expressions, and a lot more. So his theory of needs was basically this idea that humans have certain basic physiological needs which require an organized, collective, and response from the members of society itself. He defined these needs into three levels. First is the primary, for instance, the needs which are like, for example, reproduction, health, growth, the basic needs for the existence of a human being. So that is what he classified as primary needs. The secondary needs were those needs which are derived out of the satisfaction of the basic needs, such as when you have had food, there was a reach to a further level of availability of food. So there was this need of food cultivation, and therefore this agriculture came as a form of subsistence activity. Now the third level is tertiary. These needs are in a form helping the society to stay cohesive together. For instance, when we talk about religion, certain traditions, etc. Now he said that in order to fulfill various needs, there are certain established organizations across every cultures, and this organization is therefore an integrated scheme of institutions. He had a famous illustration of his understanding of institutions through his Charter of Institution, which explains this idea of functionalism. Now, what was this Charter of Institution? He defined this Charter of Institution as a system of values for the pursuit of which human beings organize. According to him, the personnel of institutions was a group organized on different principles of authority and divisions of the functions. These values inspire the personnel for material apparatus, right, as we can see in the diagram. This charter basically represents a system of values for this pursuit of which human beings form the organization on the first place. Their values, their norms, their rules, all of them together inspire the personnel for the material apparatus, leading to the creation of certain form of activities and ultimately leading to a function which satisfy a human need, whichever level of human need. So this was his charter of institution, as it is labeled as. Now the second functionalist school of thought that we have discussed, the structural functionalism given by Radcliffe Brown. Basically, the school of thought is derived and influenced by a French sociological school, which was developed in 1890s, and this was essentially based on the works of Emile Durkheim. He essentially stated upon the importance of the role of social phenomena and its role in maintaining the solidarity of the social structures, right? And his idea was further laying the grounds for the framework of Radcliffe Brown's theory to study the to study the conditions under which the social structures are maintained. He highly criticized the theory of needs that were given by Malinowski, and he tried to put this emphasis on social structure itself. Okay. And he also said that function is basically a contribution that an institution makes in the maintenance of social structure. Because this concept of structure was married with the concept of function, therefore the school of thought is also called a structural functional school. His concept basically was to draw the analogy of social life and organism's life to explain the idea of function. He said over time there is a continuity of social structure which is not destroyed by the changes in its unit. Similar to that of human being, there are constituent cells which do not remain same, but the overall structural arrangement of the units altogether, it remains similar, right? He also defined this concept of social structure as an arrangement of persons in the institutionalized roles and relationships, and it is this arrangement which continues for for generations, and this is what he called as structural continuity. He also defined the concept of social institutions as socially established norms or the patterns of behavior, and it is the institutions which further provide the status. Sorry, sorry. So basically, the social institutions lay the foundation of the status and roles, which are further governed by certain norms or the values of these institutions. Therefore, he concluded that to discuss institutions, first, the primary most important thing is to understand and describe what the social structures are on the first place. Okay. So this was more or less about the school of functionalism. Let's take certain criticisms. So, in the first place, this theory failed to adequately conceptualize the complete nature and of factors and the processes of interactions between certain units of the society, right? More or less, the nature of this analysis was very static. It also failed to explain the reasons behind cultural variations. When the needs are same everywhere, why are there cultural variations? So, it was not explained through this theory. It neglected the historical process for its presuppositions that societies are in a state of equilibrium. Okay. Now, the needs were also postulated on the basis of the existing institutions alone. In fact, Merton also criticized it on the grounds of ignoring such conflicts within this theory. But despite all of this, there have been the functionalism school of thought evolving a more developmental holistic view in discipline of this whole anthropology itself. And for now, anthropologists have developed this approach of cause and effect relationship and a lot more things based on the underlying principle of functionalism. These are two practice questions for you. Firstly, what are the two schools of thoughts pertaining to functionalism? And critically examine Malinowski's idea of functionalism. Right? For any questions or any queries, you can write down in the comments below, or you can directly message to me.